I'm probably late. I'm sure there's a lot of videos that people have been talking about him on. But I want to kind of like get my intake on this too before I get to work. Now my thing is with Derrick Groves, he been gone. He been what, out for about 5 months since he escaped. He was the last standing inmate that's been out for the longest, which was very impressive. I was like, what? People have pretty much forgotten about this guy because he'd been out so long. So it was like, okay, did he cross the border? Did he go to Mexico? Did he go towards Florida deep down? Got over to Cuba? I mean, he just became lost. Like, people wasn't about really talking about him, but it was still a mystery on where he went. How he escaped this long? Like, he really had a master plan. Did he have money? It was just so many. Why is there traffic? It was so many questions. So many questions. So, what do you know? What do you know? Popped up on YouTube. They, I guess, found out that he was, why is this car in my behind? They found out that he was in some house hiding. I guess apparently, maybe somebody read it on him, somebody gave the police tips, and he was in the basement of a house. And it's so funny when they interviewed the homeowner of the house, he claimed that, he really didn't know who all was living in there. He was just collecting his rent. And I'm going to be honest with you, when you have private owners like that, private owners don't care. Private owners do not care about who all living in there and what you're doing. They just want the deposit and they want their rent every month. They don't do no background check. They don't care. Okay? They don't care. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because they showed the video footage of him when I guess the police was putting the handcuffs on him. Boy, that boy blew a kiss to the camera. I'm like, Derrick, boy, you look like you've been eating good, and he just kind of looked like he just gave up, like, screw it. I want to go back home. Which, he did say that in front of a judge that, they asked him if he wanted to stay or, be expedited back to Louisiana. He said he wanted to go back where he's from, and I get it, He's going back to Angola. I'm sure he's going to see some of his other pilots, who he broke out with. But yeah, I can tell you right now, what's probably going to happen. They're gonna really, truly do a full investigation because it's more to this story, man. It's more to these brothers just breaking out. It's more. I feel like some of the workers who worked in there played a huge role with helping these guys out, and I'm the outside too. But it's more to it. They're gonna find out. Trust me, they definitely gonna get their answers and stuff like that, But and you never know. Netflix might make a damn movie out of this. I can see that happening. I really can. I can really see a movie being made out of this prison escape because it was very impressive, I mean, you say to yourself, if you driving on the interstate and you see a bunch of dudes in orange jumpsuits running across the interstate, would you call 911? Would you say something? Or would you kind of like dodge from hitting them and just mind your own business? You just never know. You just never know. But I'm pretty impressed with this Derrick Groves guy. I mean, he stood out a long time, and it's kind of funny because I was watching this podcast, and I'm sure these guys had it playing. I think it was Boss Talk TV, something like that, and where the Derrick Groves girlfriend called in. God forgive me for saying this, but I thought that was his mother. I thought that was his mother or his grandmother because the lady sounded like she's so much older, I mean, because, you could tell he's a young guy. So she sounded so much older. I was like, this cannot be. Is this his mother? His aunt? Okay. I was like, okay, I know it's not his grandmother because I think his grandmother was murdered by, I forgot her name. She was murdered by a New Orleans police officer. I think this happened back in the 90s, but there's definitely, documentary on that as well. Such a sad situation. But yeah, I thought it was his aunt or somebody. She didn't sound like no girlfriend. But then again, I digress. Maybe there are young men who like older women. So what is this called, door? There are young men who like older women. I mean, older women, and nothing's wrong with that. Because Derrick looked like he's about 28. This lady sounded like she was about 55. But man, some of the things that she was saying. Some of the stuff that she was saying, I was like, lady, you're going to prison? She talking about, who he was hanging with, the Massey guy, they was hanging out. So I guess they decided to go different ways and where he was hiding at. And, I mean, she was just giving Boss Talk TV a lot of because, I mean, they was asking the questions, of course. But she was giving very good details on different stuff that I think that she shouldn't have said, because I'm saying to myself, honey, you about to get arrested. Okay, I was like, okay, were you one of the ones that got the 50K? But I'm like, yeah, they, and the police are smart. All they got to do is sit back for a while. People gonna talk. The truth go. I'm listening to her like, are you serious? You sure you want to incriminate yourself by saying all of this? Because you was in bed a fugitive. I was like, and of course, boss, they loving it because it's making views go up on their video. I'd have been asking questions too, but I was like, is this really? And what a coincidence she called into their podcast. Like, come on, Boss Talk, come on, y'all, come on. Y'all know somehow, y'all knew somebody who knew somebody to get in touch with that lady. Y'all gave her the number, and that's how she was able to call. She just called y'all show. Come on now. Come on now. Oh, gee, he funny as hell, though. Oh, my God. But, yeah, Derrick Groves about to really serve some time. You see, they ain't drive us behind back to, they ain't drive state lines back to Louisiana to give him, no, they put him on a helicopter. Okay? They put him on something that's going to take, or a jet, whatever that was, they put him on. They ain't trying to get him back there ASAP. They ain't taking no chances this time. Like, look, we don't know really how the hell you fully stayed out, but we ain't taking no chance. We making sure you going to Angola right away. But I will say with him, I'm glad that he didn't put up a fight. I'm glad he wasn't trying to do no shootout with the police or harm somebody, because I guarantee they would have killed him. They probably would have killed him. Police be trigger happy. So I'm glad he sucked it up, walked out. The boy looked like he was tired the way he was walking out that house. He looked like he was tired. Just being on the run, hiding. All that hiding, you still in prison, damn near. But like the so-called girlfriend said, he should have stayed out there in the country. Boy, probably got tired of being out there in the country. He wanted to come to the city. But I will say she's right, though. If he was in the country, maybe that's where he should have stayed. Because city folks gonna talk. Hell, I feel like country folks gonna talk. Because one thing about country folks, if you a new face, you're definitely gonna stick out like a thorn. But if you in the city, you can't, you pretty much blend in. But the house that he was hiding in looked like it was a pretty good house, because from what I hear now, the police had raided, the house and flipped tables, and because at first I thought maybe he was living in that type of mess, but the police actually done that, and I was confused with all the bubble gum. I don't know. She's the girlfriend. We gonna say, yeah, the so-called girlfriend, talking about her niece or somebody do something with the gun. I was still confused, because when she explained it to me, I wanted to rewind it back, but I was like, what did she do with all this gum? But when they say they had wigs and all that, okay, that probably was for whoever females that was staying there. Come on now. I don't know. I just thought it was crazy. But kind of feel sorry for old boy, because he really about to serve life in prison. I don't know. She claimed that he said he wasn't the trigger man, for whatever shooting that occurred years ago. But just by him escaping, being out for long, you tagging on more years to your sentence. So, yeah, but he better get him a damn good attorney. Best of the best. He probably have to get the shit. Him and Massey probably have to get what's his name, attorney? ASAP Rocky. Your boy from New York. Yeah, buddy. They probably gonna have to get somebody like him. Being honest with you. Because he seemed like he is a damn good attorney. So they might have to get in touch with somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Yeah. But, you know, that they said Rocky attorney, he ain't cheap. Bro, yeah, he ain't cheap. So, you know, I don't know. I really don't know what to say. All I can say is he got some years coming towards him. You know, all of them pretty much that escape. Sad, but it's true. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to speak up on this. You know, I wanted to talk about it when it first came out, but I was so busy and stuff like that. But all I can say is we will see. We will see in the next couple of months, you know, how this unfolds, you know, especially with Derrick Groves. I mean, damn. That's all I can say. I was shocked that they called him, because whatever he was doing, brother was doing that. But, you know, anyways, I just wanted to talk about this. I'm about to head into work, and I will catch you guys later. All right. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Peace.